Greetings to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to WAFO TV. I'm Chanji Waters, and if this is your first time on this platform, this is where we solve elementary mathematics. We break it down and make you understand how to do it so that your children can follow up, or you can help them to follow up with their elementary mathematics. Here in this platform as well, we do charity work to support the education of underprivileged learners in local communities. In our last lesson, we solved problems on simple inverse proportion after solving simple direct proportions. And today, as you can see on the board, we'll be doing compound proportion. Follow up step by step so that you can be able to understand how to solve problems when it comes to proportions or compound proportions especially. Here is our first example. It says, if 40 men can dig 50 holes in 20 days, how many holes can 60 men dig in 24 days working at the same rate? Let's take note of key things there. We are talking about men, we are talking about holes, and we have days. And also we have 60 men here and 24 days. So the first thing to do when it comes to compound proportions is ask yourself, what am I calculating for? So you come here and you identify the question, how many holes? So we are looking for the number of holes. In this case, the number of holes goes to the right. So you start by establishing a small table that will help you make your statements. What you are looking for, so holes will be to the right. And here you can put men or days in any order. So I will put days here in the middle column and men here. So the first number of men we have is 40. The first number of days we have is 20. And how many holes are completed? 50. The second number of men we have is 60. The second number of days we have is 24. And this is what we are looking for. Question mark there. So this table will guide us as we make our statements. It is needless making very long sentences. Just make short sentences. That is, you start with men. 40 men dig holes in. So you relate the men to holes. Just forget about the days for the moment. So 40 men can dig 50 holes. Now come to the next number of men. 60 men will do it in. This is where I bring in this trick to help you. When solving compound proportions, put yourself in the number of men doing the work. Assume that there were 40 of you were there digging 50 holes. If for some reason there are 60 of you now, which means the number has added by 20, if you add more men to yourself, how many holes will you dig? Will you dig more holes or less holes? It will be more because there are more people. So it will be more. You just indicate here that it's more. And if it's more, this is what you do. Look at this keenly because these are the steps you follow. Come to your left hand side. Take the bigger number because it's more. You take the bigger number first, which is 60 men, and divide by 40 men. Then you multiply this by 50 holes. You can leave it like this to do the simplification at the end. Let's go now to the days in relationship to the holes. In 20 days, how many holes are being dug? 50 holes are achieved. In 24 days, put yourself there again. We were able to work out 50 holes. Put yourself there in 20 days. Now we have 24 days, which means there are more days. Are we going to do more holes or less? Obviously more, because you have more days, 4 more days. So if it's more, you indicate here, and for that reason you come back to this left hand side and take the bigger number first. 24 days divided by 20 days, and you multiply this by 50 holes. At this level, the work is almost done. What you do is you make your last statement. Therefore, 60 men in 24 days will dig. You take this equation, that is 60 men divided by 40 men multiplied by this equation. Just leave this for now, leave 50 for now. You take 24 days divided by 20 days, and here you multiply by 50 holes. You don't have to multiply twice because it's here and here. You multiply just once. You multiply this by 50 holes. You can just express that over 1 to make the equation look nice. So here you simplify the units. You take away days, can take away days, and men can take away men. This helps you know that your answer should be in holes. Then you can take away this 0 with this, take away this 0 with this. You have 2 here, 1 time, 2 here, 3 times. 4 can divide itself and 24. So 4 here, 1 time, and 4 can divide 24 6 times. 3 times 6, 18, and 18 times 5, 90. So we have 90 holes. This is how simple it can be when it comes to compound proportions. I believe you've understood, but if not, let's look at the second example to see how you pick up from there. Follow closely if you did not understand the first. Even if you did, just follow the second example to understand better. The question reads, 50 boys working 9 hours a day complete a job in 10 days. How many days will it take 30 boys working 12 hours a day at the same rate? As we saw in our first example, the first thing is establish a table with 3 columns to help you identify what you are looking for and what you have so that you can make your statements. But now before we draw the table, what are we looking for? It's here, how many days? So we are calculating for the number of days, and so it will go to the last column on the right. So we establish a table with 3 columns, and here we have days. Here we can put it the time in hours, and here the number of boys. The first number of boys we have is 50. 50 boys working 9 hours complete the work in 10 days. We go further, you identify 30 boys working 12 hours, and here is what we are calculating for, the number of days it will take. So in this case, we can go straight into making our statements. And the first statement here will be boys and the number of days taken. So we have 50 boys complete work in 10 days. So always put yourself there that if we are 50, we do the work in 10 days. Now we are 30. Will they do it in more or less? The number has gone down. Are we going to take more days to do the work or less? It is obviously more because the number has reduced. There are less of you, so you will do the work in more days. You indicate here more, and when it's more, you come to your left column and you take the bigger number first, which is 50 boys, and divide by the smaller number, which is 30 boys. And you multiply this by 10 days. Let's come to the middle column for time in hours. So in 9 hours, work is completed in 10 days. That is, working 9 hours, work is done in 10 days. Now if the number of hours is increased to 12, are you going to take more or less days? 9 hours every day, we finish work in 10 days. Now we have 12 hours, that's we have more time to work. So you are going to take less days. If you don't understand, I'll explain again. If you have 9 hours each day and you finish your work, you complete work in 10 days. Now if you are giving more hours a day instead of 9, if you are giving 12 hours a day, you are going to take less days because you will work for more hours in one day. That's why here is less. And if it's less, you come to your left hand side, you take the smaller number, which is 9 hours, and divide by the bigger number, which is 12 hours. And here you multiply by 10 days. With this, you can make your last statement, which will combine both. Then you simplify. So here will be, therefore, 30 boys in 12 hours will complete job in, you take the first equation here, which is 50 boys divided by 30 boys. You multiply that by this, which is 9 hours divided by 12 hours. And here you multiply by just one of this, that is by 10 days. You express that over 1 if you want it to be a fraction. And we can simplify. The first thing is this 0 can cancel out. Or before you do that, you can take boys away. with boys and then hours with hours. This 0 will do away with this 0. What else can simplify? We have 3 and 9. So 3 goes into itself one time. 3 can divide 9 3 times. What else? I think 3 can divide 12 and itself. So 3 here one time. 3 into 12 4 times. What else can simplify? We have 2 can divide 4 2 times, and 2 can divide 10 5 times. So we multiply across. 5 times 5, 25 divided by 2, and 25 divided by 2 will give 12 and a half days. Remember that we are looking for days. 25 over 2 days, or 12 and a half days. This is how you can solve a problem when it comes to compound proportions. And if you understood very well, then we've come to the end of our lesson. If you loved it, you can share with friends, subscribe to our channel, like it, comment, and of course give your impressions so that we can improve in our subsequent lessons. See you in our next lesson. To get more information, you can contact the numbers on the screen, or you can visit our website